Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on Integration Part 5. A special puzzle to warm up the brain cells is on the next slide. The answer will be given at the end. Enjoy. What is the meaning of the following? Good luck with it and see how you go. Calculating areas. In one of the earlier videos, I mentioned that integration could be used to calculate areas under graphs. Let us illustrate with a number of examples. Example 1. One of the simplest examples we have, but I've done that just to illustrate some points. The first thing is we're integrating x dx, and these are the limits from 0 to 5, from x equals 0 to x equals 5. Here is the line y equals x. Basically what I'm asking is that we're going to find the area of this right angle triangle. Now we know normally, if we don't use any integration, that the area of this triangle is half base times height, which is half 5 times 5, which is a half of 25, which is 12.5. Let's see how we do it with integration. So the integral of x dx from 0 to 5, this is our convention. We've integrated x for half x squared from 0 to 5. We substitute 5 in first, so that's half times 5 squared minus a half times 0 squared. So that all that part there is 0, which gives us a half of 25, which is 12.5. And that's exactly how we worked it out in the normal way. So that's interesting doing it via integration. Now, we're going to illustrate using a curve, which is what we normally do. We normally use integration to find the areas under curves. This time we're going to find the area under the curve y equals x squared between 1 and 3 and the x-axis. So the integral of x squared dx between 1 and 3, integrating x squared gives us a third x cubed between 1 and 3. Substituting 3 in first, that's a third times 3 cubed minus a third times 1 cubed. Now a third of 3 cubed is a third of 27, which is 9. A third of 1 cubed is a third of 1, which is a third. 9 minus a third is 8 2/3. So that's the shaded area. Example 3. We are asked to find the area between the curve y equals x squared plus 3 between x equals 0, x equals 3 and the x-axis. So there it is there, that's what we're asked to do. If we integrate x squared plus 3, that gives us a third x cubed plus 3x, and here are the limits. We'll substitute 3 in, that gives us a third of 3 cubed plus 3 times 3 minus 0. Of course, when we substitute 0 in there, we just get 0. 3 cubed is 27. A third of 27 is 9. 3 3s are 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. So 18 is the area there, the shaded area. Example 4. We're asked to find the area between this curve and between the x-axis from 3 to -1. So here is the equation, y equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. That's the equation of that parabola. So here it is here. Here are the limits. We integrate that section to give us that between -1 and 3. Now, since we're finding the area, we have to find the absolute value. Because this area is under the x-axis, it will turn out to be negative if we just do the calculation. But we're actually asked to find the area, the shaded area, so that's why we have to use absolute value. I'm sorry I didn't indicate here that we're finding area, but that's what we're doing here too. We're actually finding that area. So, here's our integration. Now we substitute 3 in, so it's a third times 3 cubed minus 3 squared minus 3 times 3. So that's what we get when we substitute 3 in. Minus, now we substitute minus 1 in, so it's a third by minus 1 cubed. Minus 1 squared. Plus 3. That'll be minus 3 times minus 1. When we substitute the 1 in, that gives us plus 3. Remember, it's still the absolute value. A third times 3 cubed is a third of 27, which is 9. Minus 3 squared, which is 9. Minus 3 times 3, which is 9. Here's our minus sign there. So, now inside these brackets we have a third times minus 1, because minus 1 cubed is minus 1, so a third times minus 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 squared is 1, so that gives us minus 1, which is there. And there's our plus 3. Now we'll remove all the grouping symbols. So 9 minus 9 minus 9 is minus 9. So those 3 equal minus 9. Now this section here. Minus times minus a third is plus a third. Minus times minus 1 is plus 1. And minus times plus 3 is minus 3. So when we work all that out here, all that part that's inside the absolute value sign, we get minus 10 and 2/3. Because we're asked to find the area, the absolute value of minus 10 and 2/3 is 10 and 2/3. So that is actually the area. This is just the calculation, but that is the actual area, which has to be positive. Here's a quick quiz to help you. Please check through the video at any time. The answer to the puzzle. What is the meaning of the following? Fork in the road. That's a good one. And here's the answer to the quick quiz, and the video is at your disposal.